Midjourney has finally dropped its first video model, and it's creating the most cinematic motion we've seen yet. These clips, all made in Midjourney. After years of waiting, it's here, and it's surprisingly powerful, especially for complex, realistic scenes like these. In this video, I'll break down exactly what it can do, how to use it, and how it stacks up against the other video competition. Now, where this model stands out head and shoulders above the rest is with authentic human movement. Now, often if you watch complex motions like walking, you will be completely obvious that this is an AI video, but just look at this man's gait. Now, if you've been using Google Veo 3 recently, you'll know that it is absolutely lousy at performing any type of action. Now, the crispness of videos coming out of Midjourney video are absolutely stunning. Just look at the detailed and subtle emotions passing across this woman's face. There's a real sense of emotional connection. Now, Midjourney is showcasing that it's able to handle a whole wide range of different situations. Here is a flyover of a drone shot, and as you can see, this video is only 5 seconds long, but it's possible to extend your videos in Midjourney up to 20 seconds long. Now, I'll make sure to leave links to all of the creators that I feature in this video. This one is from Alex Patrascu. And if you explore the dynamic camera movement here, which creates a huge sense of difficulty for any AI video model because it has to maintain an understanding of a three-dimensional environment. And it does this with superior accuracy than any model we've seen. This is absolutely astounding. As you can see, these different layers are created of these panes of glass and the characters behind them. Not only do we get these fabulous reflections coming through the glass, but we also get an immense immersiveness through moving through the scene. Now, this video model does not include audio like Veo 3 does, but what it does do is it creates an unparalleled sense of realism and cinematography. And that is something that Midjourney has always excelled in. Just look at this incredible environment and how little morphing there is going on. Absolutely stunning. Here's an example from Remy X. And what I love about this is how well the water is rendered out. Just look at the realistic ripples coming away from this woman's shoulder. Now, this individual framer is showing comparison of animating still images from Studio Ghibli in Midjourney and how they compare to the original animations. And as you can see, these are almost indistinguishable from the animations created in Studio Ghibli. And this truly paves the way for creating our own fully fledged films entirely with AI. Now, the important thing to notice here is that we don't just have to animate the images from Midjourney. We can also bring our own images into Midjourney and animate them. Now, you can explore some of the creations that other Midjourney users have been using in the gallery. Simply go to Explore and then to Videos. And here we can see some of the most impressive designs. Now, just look at how incredibly consistent and cinematic this video is. What was remarkable about Google Veo 3 was combining video and audio together. But what's remarkable about Midjourney is the true adherence to realism. Now, Midjourney is also handling abstract animations particularly well. Just look at how engaging, delightful, and beautiful this abstract animation is. Now, one thing that we pay particular attention to is the human eye. This is something that we see every day, hundreds of times. And being able to animate this realistically is one of the largest challenges in AI video because it's something we know so inherently well. Just look at these realistic flickers of the eye. It's truly mesmerizing. And you can even see these subtle pores and imperfections on this lady's cheek. Not to mention the individual hairs being rendered. Now, here we have another action shot, which is demonstrating how powerful this is for complex movement. Now, we've got a really dynamic angle here and intense movement, and it's handling all of this incredibly well. I mean, just look at this dancing grandpa. Dancing is, again, one of the hardest challenges for AI video, and this is setting the bar for new standards of AI video quality. Especially if you look here, if you just pause the video and just see how well the hands are rendered at every moment, that there's not a single second where we suddenly see 7 fingers. Now, of course, one of the strengths of AI video is creating surreal animations that would not be possible in real life. And here we have a new species, a cross between a pig and a spider, and it's able to create this sci-fi, imaginative, piece of work with absolute perfection. Now here we have a piece that's playing on one of the latest trends of creating fruits with glass or other materials. And the feeling of slicing through this gelatinous orange is very visceral and engaging. Just look at the consistency and how well the physics retain the shape of these elements as they're chopped through. And again, here we've got an incredibly difficult and complex shot here, because what we're having here is the camera slightly submerged in water and then coming up above the surface. It's absolutely stunning. Now, for me, Midjourney has always been the front runner in aesthetics, and that it has, since the very start of its revolution, held a mantle of having the most tasteful outputs. And I think it's continued that with video. We've waited an incredibly long time to get our hands on it, but now it's available for everyone worldwide, and it's incredibly easy to use. Now, to use the video model inside of Midjourney, all you have to do is go to Create. You can start creating your own image or go back through any image that you've previously created. So I will choose to animate this image of a woman. Now, you simply click on the image, go full screen, and then now you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there are 4 new options. What we have is a low motion, high motion for auto, and then for manual, we also have low motion and high motion. Now, auto automatically animates your image based on how Midjourney interprets it should be animated. You do not need to enter a prompt, and it automatically does it based on the context of the scene. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. All you have to do is click low motion, and it's submitted. Now, high motion gives you a lot more animation in the shot. So you can imagine low motion has more of a slow motion and a soft animated approach, whereas high motion is much more animated and faster. Now, the difference between these modes is that with low motion, you get a much more realistic output. You're more likely to get everything perfectly coherent. However, with high motion, you get much more dynamic scenes, but the actual coherence of the shot is likely to degrade slightly. Now, next up is the manual mode. And if you click on low motion, you will be able to write a prompt directing exactly how you want the scene animated. So you can give them precise directions. So I'll say that she laughs and sticks her tongue out. Now you can simply press the little arrow button and submit that. Now, if you come back to your feed simply by pressing create, you'll be able to see these being generated. Now, they generate fairly quickly, about 1 to 2 minutes at the moment, which is a decent speed across all AI video models, especially considering that you get 4 videos out at a time. And as you can see here, we have 4 absolutely stunning videos of this incredibly lifelike actress being animated. Now, one caveat I have found with Midjourney videos so far is that often your videos will be rejected. It does currently have incredibly stringent safety measures. So if it deems that anything could be even slightly inappropriate, it will reject your submission. So it did reject this one when I asked for high motion, but not this one where I asked for low motion. But I had some other examples that I can showcase to you. Now, what I'm particularly impressed with is the animated versions. And here you can see this beautiful stylized animation with this wonderful rain effect coming down and almost a watercolor style painting. Now, whether we'll still be able to create animated styles inside of Midjourney remains to be seen, especially if they maintain a likeness to any popular figures from Disney, because Disney and Universal have sued Midjourney over images, and these Hollywood giants are alleging a bottomless pit of plagiarism. So if you are generating content with Midjourney, right now I would be very wary of using any popular brands, especially those related to Disney. Interestingly, one reason many people are using Studio Ghibli is because the Japanese government have already ruled that AI training on datasets is viewed as fair use. And so it's very likely that Studio Ghibli will have zero possibility of getting any type of legal support in their pursuits of protecting their copyright. Now, what's great about these is they're being generated in high resolution. This video is coming out at 1936 by 1080p. So that is already a high degree of resolution that you can use to publish across any platform. So I wanted to do. Now, once you've generated a video, you also have more options. From there, you can continue to extend your video up to 4 times, giving you up to 20 seconds in length for your AI video. Now, after you've generated a video in the feed, you can simply click Extend Auto or Extend Manual. Again, Extend Manual gives you the option to write a prompt. Now, what's fabulous is also the ability to bring your own images into Midjourney and animate them. So all you have to do that is simply drag them into the prompt bar and put them into starting frame. Then you can go ahead and submit that. And this will create a video using your image as the very first frame. And this is great for experimenting with other tools and integrating Midjourney into your existing AI workflows. Now, an incredibly interesting factor about this is what Midjourney says in their announcement, which is that they believe the inevitable destination of this technology are models capable of real-time open-world simulations. And what's that? Well, basically, imagine an AI system that generates imagery in real time. You can command it to move around in 3D space. The environment and characters also move, and you can interact with everything. Now, we have seen a rudimentary demonstration of this recently from Project Odyssey. And what that allows you to do is explore a 3-dimensional world in real live time. However, the resolution of this has been incredibly low. And what we're going to gradually see is the resolution increase, the latency decrease, and the ability to generate infinite universes using single prompts is just around the corner. So here we have a video of me walking, a little bit too scattered. This one is a little bit more suave. But the ability to use our own photos is a real game changer. Now, some people have complained that you can't generate a video simply from a text prompt in Midjourney. And for me, I think that is missing the point about this, that the best way to use AI video models is to start with an image, and that this gives you the most control and precise understanding of what you're going to get out. I certainly think that the best workflow for working AI video is first to generate an image and then to animate that afterwards. Now, as for Midjourney's pricing, the video feature comes at no extra fee beyond a Midjourney subscription. Now, the basic plan with Midjourney is very generously priced at just $10 a month, and you can use the new video model for just $10. However, video generation is understandably computationally heavy, and each video costs around 8 times more credits than creating a single image. Now, in practice, that means that a 5-second animation uses 8 minutes of your GPU time allocation. So for an image, you use 1 minute of GPU allocation. Now, basic tier users get a limited fast GPU time budget. So essentially what that means is that you get a time-limited amount of using GPUs with your subscription. So essentially, you might just get around a dozen or so videos before hitting the limit. However, if you upgrade to the Pro monthly subscription, which is $60 a month, you can get unlimited generations at a slower speed. Now, this is remarkable value to have unlimited AI video for $60 a month. And comparing that to other models, it's absolutely mind-bogglingly good value, especially for the quality. There is no other plan that is anywhere near as good as this. However, we don't know how long this will precisely last, and Midjourney's CEO noted that they may adjust video pricing as they gauge server load and costs. So how does this rack up against the competition? Well, I've done a little bit of testing and comparing between Google Veo 3, Kling, and Midjourney. Now, each of these, I think, have particular strengths and weaknesses, and depending on the situation, I would recommend using different models. Now, of course, Veo 3 has this standout feature being able to generate audio synchronized to the video, which allows you to create incredible lifelike vlogs and content that is ready to use. Midjourney, however, has, I think, the best cinematic animation, the most realistic movement, and for true-to-life dynamics, I highly recommend Midjourney. Now, for a model that is particularly good at each of these, but not the best, that has a decent pricing model, but is not the cheapest, and offers a whole host of different features, I think Kling is a very good option too. Now I can show you a comparison between Kling and Midjourney. So here is an image that I animated in Kling. As you can see, we get some pretty good motion here. It's emerging from the ground. Everything looks pretty good. There's a little bit of morphing going on the debris of the face. And if we compare that to Midjourney, I would note two things. Firstly is we get much more dynamic camera movement. And secondly, there is much reduced morphing. Now, this is something that I've seen across all of my experimentations. Midjourney is excelling in consistency, lack of morphing, and dynamic camera motion. I did want to have a little look earlier just at how far we came. So I went ahead and generated an image all the way back in version 1, which was just 3 years ago, can you believe? And look where we are now. Now, to mention the interface, I think a great benefit of Midjourney is that they have excellent UX design. I highly admire the way that they have generated their product, and I find it to be the most intuitive and enjoyable to use. Now, comparative to Kling, I find Kling to be slightly overwieldly and confusing. It has a whole host of different features right now that actually starts to detract from the usability. And as you can see, the creation of video is incredibly cluttered, and you have a whole host of additional features, which obviously gives you more capabilities, but makes the entire process more complex. Kling also regularly update their video models, their interfaces, and their features, which means that it's constantly changing. If you just compare the interface of Kling here to that of Midjourney, you can see that Midjourney has a much clearer and simpler aesthetic and a more intentional design. I mean, just look about how much text there is on the screen here with Kling and all of these complex labels, that there are so many different text styles and tabs. There's like 3 tabs here, a drop down here, 4 tabs here. Everywhere is a tab. And you can see that there's probably about 60% less text on the Midjourney interface. And also notably, they have a much better use of a typographic hierarchy, that it's very clear what is selected and what is more important than other elements. Now, one reason why I'm a bit of a Midjourney fanboy is that Midjourney has a commitment to creating a product that is useful, helpful, and allows people to be creative. It is not primarily targeted at creating as much revenue as possible, and I truly believe that this filters down into the experience of using the tool. The founder of Midjourney is somebody I've followed for many years and who I deeply admire for his commitment for creating cool technology. And it's something that I inherently want to support with my own use and how we approach it on this channel. Now, I'll be so interested to hear what you think of Midjourney video and how it compares to the other video models. Do let me know in the comments. Now, I think a fundamental breakthrough that is also overlooked in this model is that compared to other video generation models, this is up to 25 times cheaper than what the market has shipped before. And this means that Midjourney is truly leading the way in high quality image to video generation compared to all other models. And of course, this is only Midjourney video version 1. We can expect a whole host of updates to come in the next months. So we've got a lot to look forward to, including Midjourney's movement into 3D worlds and real-time video. And I am so excited to explore the possibilities of AI video. And if you are interested in learning more about the possibilities of AI creation, do check out my AI Academy in the link in the description below. We've got a whole host of different courses that allow you to truly make content that can impact the world. Now, if you enjoyed this video, do check out this video next, which is one where I explore some of the arguments around the ethics of AI art. Now, this was a video that I wanted to make because it is something that I thought about deeply about the importance of that. And I would love to hear your reflections on how AI is affecting our ability to create and the value of creativity. But most of all, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a delightful day.